Come with me on a journey to the land of lush tea plantations, one-horn rhinos, biodiversity, religious harmony, mysticism, and sustainable eating. Assam, where most people still practice a sustainable way of life, and it deeply reflects in the way people forage, cook, and eat. Fresh veggies, herbs, and meat are purchased daily from the farmers' markets, which is a perfect opportunity to know what's in season, pick up locally sourced ingredients, and at the same time connect with the people who grow the food we eat. Welcome to my childhood home, located in a peaceful town called Golaghat in Upper Assam. My mother avidly rears Desi Murgi for personal consumption. Though expensive compared to broiler chicken, country chicken is easily available at the local farmers market. So I asked my mother why she takes the pain of rearing them at home. Her answer was simple. She wants to connect to the food she cooks and feeds. This way, one is certain the chicken did not run in a toxic landfill, so in a way we are protecting our food and our own body from environmental pollution. Such a practice also encourages responsible eating habits and promotes zero wastage. You will see further in the video how sustainably every part of the bird is used to ensure nothing goes to waste. Using the thighs, legs, and breast of the rooster, we made a country-style chicken torkari, which roughly translates to curry in English. And using the chicken feet, gizzard, liver, neck, and the skin, we prepared a delectable side dish called Saat-Sut. These collagen and vitamin A rich parts and organs of the chicken are otherwise discarded when one buys a whole chicken from most stores in big cities. We also made some pulao, an archetypal side dish prepared in Assamese Muslim household, especially when guests are expected. This combination of my mom-made chicken torkari with pulao was my Abu's favorite, and we wanted to recreate this in his memory. Here we are prepping for the pulao, followed by the chicken torkari and Saat-Sut. Finally slicing lots of onions. We'll divide the sliced onions in 3 portions for the dishes we are cooking. In addition, we have prepared some ginger garlic paste. To view the list of ingredients, please click on the description box below. Joha Saul is an aromatic short grain rice, soft in texture and easy on the stomach. It is healing. One has to actually eat it to really understand why Joha Saul is such an important part of the Assamese culinary heritage. We also have some whole spices ready for the pulao. Heat oil in a pressure cooker. Add whole spices and onions. Saute till the onions are translucent and starting to slightly brown on the edges. Add the ginger garlic paste. Saute till the raw smell is gone and then add the rice. Saute the washed rice till the excess moisture evaporates and then add warm water. Pressure cook for roughly 10 to 15 minutes on medium flame, and this is ready. Growing up, I never saw biryani in the menu at home. Sada pulao, motor pulao, chicken pulao were cooked on special occasions. The Murgi Torkari involves a 2-step cooking process. The first step is to heat the kadhai and then add mustard oil and bay leaves. And then we add sliced onions. We cannot crank up the heat. This will turn the onions dark too soon. Everything on medium flame. Once the onion begins to turn light golden and the chicken is sauteed, the indication is that it'll lose its raw pink color. Then we make a well in the kadhai and add ginger garlic paste. Saute more until the ground spices are cooked. This will take up to 10 to 15 minutes on medium flame. Then add water and allow the chicken to partially cook. Because Desi Murgi or country chicken is firmer in texture, we are transferring it to a pressure cooker. Every Indian household uses a pressure cooker. But if you do not have one, then the entire process can be followed using a crock pot or electric slow cooker. 4 to 5 whistles on medium flame and this is done. The third step of transferring back the chicken to a kadai is optional. We added a little bit more warm water to achieve a thinner, lighter consistency. Our meal prep started very early in the morning and we are going to have some traditional Assamese breakfast. Some Assam tea, of course, followed by narikolar pop, which is a sweet coconut-filled dumpling. This is handoguri and akhoi to be had in warm milk like a porridge. Handoguri is toasted rice powder and akhoi is popped or puffed rice. Now moving on to cooking Saat-Sut. To cook Saat-Sut, we'll need a kadai. You can use any wide, shallow cooking pot. Along with the chicken organs, we have added sliced onions, ginger garlic paste, salt, cumin and coriander powder, garam masala powder, black pepper powder, turmeric and red chili powder, uncooked room temperature mustard oil, slit chilies, bay leaves, and a half a cup of water. Mix everything, cover and let it simmer. Once this comes to a boil, transfer this into a pressure cooker. I want to reiterate that everything can be done from start to end on a pressure cooker or electric slow cooker. What cooking on a kadai does is that it allows you to saute. Sauteing is important in the beginning of the cooking process so that the food can be cooked on high heat and to maintain the texture of the meat, meaning the meat won't get cooked too soon, allowing flavor to develop and excess moisture to evaporate. We transferred everything back to a kadai and then everything is done. How beautiful is this? We made this dish using chicken's organs, feet, gizzard and liver, ensuring nothing goes to waste. And the best part is, Saat-Sut is so delicious. This is Bengena, aubergine. The first step is to wash and then cut thick slices, followed by massaging the aubergine pieces with salt. This will draw out excess moisture, and then finally, we marinate this with turmeric. That's it. This is the beauty of Assamese cooking. Very little spice is added to vegetables and fish preparation so that the natural flavor is not lost. Pan or shallow fry. Unlike broiler chicken, Desi or country chicken are free-range, indigenous breeds that forage naturally. They do not grow in cages. They grow much slower, yielding leaner, firmer, and more flavorful meat. So you can imagine how delicious this must be. What a blessed meal. I'm extremely grateful to have shot this video with Emmer in my hometown, at the house where I grew up with my parents and siblings. Thank you folks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this food story and recipes we shared as much as we did documenting it for you. Love you all. Thank you so much.